Presidential spokesman Salvador Panelo says Tuesday, September 3, he would file libel complaints against online news sites Inquirer.net and Rappler, saying articles published about his letter on the executive clemency application of rapist and murderer Antonio Sanchez are, quote, reeking not only with irresponsibility but with malice, and it is libelous in nature, because it imputes an act to discredit me in public and to tarnish my honor. But Rappler in a statement calls the libel suit threat a, quote, pure diversionary tactic, and instead of shooting the messenger, Panelo should answer questions about his possible conflicts of interest. Panelo in an earlier press briefing said the referral letter was not tantamount to intervention.
I said no intervention. The referral letter speaks for itself. On the contrary, this representation left it to the discretion of the Board of Pardons and Parole to evaluate the case of Mr. Sanchez.
Panelo also insists he never had contact with the family since Sanchez's conviction in 1995, but admitted he met with them in February.
Well, they came to the office and it was an email. And then they came and I told them exactly. We will refer the same as we all refer all.
Sanchez's wife Elvira says former First Lady Imelda Marcos was among those who asked President Rodrigo Duterte to grant executive clemency to the former mayor, citing old age and poor health. Elvira also says she first learned August 20 about the release through a text message from an anonymous sender. She says the message read, quote, Ma'am, the ex-mayor may be released this afternoon.
Actually nga po, kanina lang wala na po akong cellphone. Pinasok ko po, tinanggal ko po ang SIM card. Kasi pag-gising ko kanina, after nung hearing na to, ang dami ho nag-text na sa akin. May mga death threat na ho kami. Kaya ang ginawa ko, syempre at burst of my emotion, ay tanggalin ko na lang tong SIM card ko. Tanggal na lang ako ng cellphone.
Elvira says her family has no intention to pay the 12 million pesos in damages ordered by the court to the families of the former mayor's victims, Eileen Sarmenta and Alan Gomez.
Actually, Your Honor, wala po kami talaga intensyon. Laging paulit-ulit po namin sinasabi, bakit po kami magbabayad? Wala naman pong kasalanan ng aking asawa.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG meanwhile wants to extend the suspension of the Good Conduct Time Allowance or GCTA law.
After matapos namin yung review, we will recommend it to the Congress, and probably Congress will have to amend the law. For the meantime, we can suspend the granting of GCTA.
A Supreme Court ruling effectively clears former President Noynoy Aquino and all of Mamasapano-related charges Tuesday, September 3. The High Court denies a petition that sought to charge the former president of 44 counts of reckless imprudence resulting in homicide over the Mamasapano bloodbath in 2015. The petition was filed by families of the Special Action Force cops killed in the ill-fated mission and backed by Solicitor General Jose Calida. In the same complaint, they alleged that former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales committed grave abuse of discretion when she dropped the homicide complaints against Aquino and instead charged him with graft and usurpation of authority. The court also maintained that the Ombudsman did not commit grave abuse of discretion in dismissing the complaints against Aquino. But Morales' successor, Ombudsman Samuel Martires, withdrew the graft and usurpation of authority charges against Aquino last August 22 because he believes, quote, no president can be charged of usurpation. Filipinos online poke fun at a traffic scheme proposed to the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA, seeking to ban certain car brands from EDSA on specific days to address traffic congestion. The proposal was submitted by former Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation consultant Ariston Gorospe. The scheme was based on the number of units sold per car brand in 2018. For example, the proposal wants to ban all Toyota cars on Monday, but Filipinos ridicule the idea. Ronel Kilat on Facebook suggests using zodiac signs of the drivers as a way to classify who will be banned from the major thoroughfare. Simon Adriano on Facebook says, quote, next year it will be according to haircut. But some, like Carlo Cruz on Facebook, express frustration over the handling of the traffic problem. I can't believe how experimental our current government is. We basically are all their guinea pigs at this point. LOL. John Mark Payawal appeals to lawmakers to provide better public transportation options first before banning cars. Interior Department Secretary Eduardo Año says the government has no responsibility or accountability to help the families of suspects killed in the drug war. This comes as several congressmen raised the aftermath of the war on drugs and asked how Año would help the wives and children of those killed. Año adds his agency does not have any existing policy to address this, but the families can seek assistance from the Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD. Gilas Pilipinas fails to reach the next round of the FIBA World Cup after suffering a 59-point loss from Serbia Monday, September 2. The Philippine team managed to keep it close, but it did not take long for Serbia to pull away and eventually move to the second round with its second win in Group D. The Philippines will look to end its FIBA journey on a high note as it faces Angola, also from Group D, Wednesday, September 4. They will then head to the classification stage where they will face the two bottom squads from Group C in Beijing.